Back with the Tahlia Speak Show. I'm sitting here with the lovely Ieshia Hill with Lady Sports News.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I gotta reach out to this girl because come to find out, we were Facebook friends, and I was like, this is awesome what she's doing here in the city of Indianapolis. So, first, I just want the people to know more about you. So, tell the people a little bit about your background.
So I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and we know that Indiana is the sports capital.
Absolutely.
We love sports, so I was always surrounded by sports, and I grew up playing multiple sports. In high school, I played basketball mainly, and my team was very successful. We won 2 state championships. I didn't play in college, but I always stayed connected to high school sports.
Right.
So I studied journalism at IU in Bloomington, and after graduating, I moved back home to Indianapolis, and so I always wanted to cover high school sports. There were times where I couldn't find like high school teams to follow, like as far as watching the games and things, and especially with high school girls. And then I started to research, and I found that a lot of newspapers, they had budget cuts, and they weren't covering high school sports, especially girls.
Really?
Yeah, so I was looking online trying to find games to watch live, and it was very challenging. So I started to do research, and there's one statistic that stood out to me. 40% of all athletes are women, yet women only receive 4% of media coverage. And that statistic, that stood out to me because, I'm a woman and an athlete, so I decided to use my journalism experience and my love for sports, and I created Lady Sports News.
And just listening to you tell your story, we have a lot of commonalities, you and I. We both played prep sports, didn't go on and play in college, and then we both went to school for journalism. And like you said, it's hard to get the media coverage out there for whether it's, little girls sports all the way up to professional athletes. Women don't get as much coverage, so it's so amazing what you're doing. And like I said, I was so excited to have you on the show. When you first started to get out there and really grind and starting to grow your brand, what challenges did you run into?
The first challenge is that it's an untapped market, so I'm starting from scratch, which is very challenging. Just getting athletic directors on board on my vision, contacting coaches just to get interviews. So that was my first challenge, is just getting the word out there, letting them know that I'm serious. I'm not just a regular blogger.
Right.
So now that I'm
about
starting,
your business.
So now I'm starting to build momentum, and people are starting to take me a little more seriously. It's making it easier for me to come on shows like this, and also just interview players. I've had an opportunity to interview Tamika Catchings. So I'm just starting, really starting to build up momentum, and I'm excited to see what, this year and next year has in store for Lady Sports.
You've got Tamika Catchings already, so I'm sure the market response it's been pretty good thus far. Who do you have on your radar now?
Oh man, I don't have anyone specific. We cover all types of girls. We don't just cover, the teams that are undefeated or the state championship teams. We cover girls that are doing things good, that are doing things in academics, performing arts. We've interviewed valedictorians.
That's great.
So I don't have any specific person or a team on my spotlight. We interview anyone that has, that's doing great things. So,
even myself being a prep athlete, you think, you have to be a star athlete and score all these points. But you can get recognized for just your sportsmanship, your grades, your behavior off the court or off the field or whatever sport you're playing. So don't get discouraged just because you may not be the quote unquote best athlete on a team, because you still can get recognized in other ways. So that's really, really great. So I know when I spoke with you prior to you coming on the show, you told me about your site and that you actually have some high school writers for you. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so at first it started as a blog. I was writing everything by myself. I know
Yes,
you're a writer.
I do.
That's very
tough.
challenging.
Yes,
so I needed writers, so I started recruiting writers. We have a few writers that write on their high school newspaper. So that helps that they're experienced, and we're still recruiting more student writers for next school year. So we recruit anyone that's interested in gaining journalism experience, because we know it's challenging to tap into that market.
Right.
So I'm helping young writers build their resume and develop those writing skills. So we're still recruiting to have a student writer at each high school so that they can cover their school.
That's good. So
that's
how many articles are you pushing out? You would say a week or?
Right now about 5 a week.
Okay.
And it's slowing down because it's school year's ending.
Yeah.
But we're ramping up next school year with all the writers that we have that are going to start next school year as well. So.
Okay. So if there's some writers out there now, are you just targeting female sports writers to contribute to Lady Sports News?
No, we have male writers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have a few male writers that are passionate about women's sports. That's the most important thing. You have to be passionate about sports, and you have to be passionate about women's sports because there is a deficit here, and so we want people that are passionate for women. And so that's what we mainly look for. If you're a male, female, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a passion, that's what we look for.
Right. So if someone wanted to write for you, what would they do? How would they go about contacting you?
Oh yeah, they can contact me at Ieshia.hill@ladysportsnews.com, and that's IESHIA period HILL at ladysportsnews.com, and I will follow it with you immediately.
All right, you need those writers now.
Yes.
You can never have too many writers.
Never.
And I'll also be sure to share the information on the site, and when I repost, videos and such, you'll be able to get in contact with Ieshia. So lastly, what advice would you have for, it doesn't necessarily have to be a female athlete, but just anybody out there that is just trying to follow in your footsteps, just to try to get more recognition or just to cover female sports?
I would just say just do it. You have to start, and that's the most important thing is starting. Your vision, you're not going to see your vision 100%. Like my blog, my website is not where I want it to be at the moment, but it's most importantly I have started. So if you just start, I think that's the biggest hurdle, and then things will just start happening. Doors will start to open. On this show right now, you start getting the word out. People will start to follow you. So never give up. It's going to be challenging. You're going to hear some no's. You're going to hear some people may not respond, but don't let that discourage you, and just keep pressing towards your dreams, whatever they may be, in athletics, academics, professional world, no matter where you are, just don't give up.
Well, that's amazing. I just want to just add to that because, she mentioned coming on the show and, getting recognized. But the same thing with me. Like I said, we share similar backgrounds. I started my blog, TahliaSpeaks.com, 4 years ago. I was the only writer. I was writing, pushing out sometimes 4 articles a day, just grinding, working a full-time job. Some of you out there know I'm a mother. And I just didn't give up. I took a break. I got discouraged, but I kept going. And now here I am, having this show. But, there's always room for growth. There's still dreams and aspirations that I have. So do not give up. Do not give up on your dream. Only thing that beats a failure is a try. So keep trying, keep pushing. So how do people get in contact with you on social media?
You can find Lady Sports News on ladysportsnews.com. We're also on Twitter at Lady Sports News, and on Instagram at Lady Sports News. So everything is just Lady Sports News. So you can find us everywhere on all the social media sites and on Facebook as well.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so
for
much,
having
Ieshia, for coming on the show.
Love it. Love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. And hey, if there's anything that TahliaSpeaks.com can do to help out, we already discussed this, just let me know. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll